Hello again, and Boomer Sooner to everyone out there in Sooner Land. The game after Iowa State will be the November 23rd matchup, 2013, in Manhattan against Kansas State. The head coach for those Wildcats of purple and silver, purple and white, whatever color you want to call it, Bill Snyder, finished with an 11-2 record last season with only 2 losses. They did finish 8-1 last year in the Big 12, tying them with Oklahoma for first place. They lost in the Fiesta Bowl last year to Oregon, 35-17 in Arizona. Last year's Offensive Player of the Year for Kansas State was Colin Klein. He had 2,646 yards, 16 touchdowns. His longest pass was 62 yards, and that came at Texas Tech. Their defensive player that will be missed will be Arthur Brown. He had 100 tackles even, 2 interceptions, 0 forced fumbles, and 0 fumbles recovered. Scoring-wise for Kansas State, they weren't one of the better offensive productional teams, but they still scored a lot of points. They still scored 38.8 points per ball game last year. The overall record between Kansas State and Oklahoma owns the overall record at 71-18-4. 8-4 in the Big 12 conference play. The reason why it's 8-4 and not anything more than that is, of course, they did not meet every year. When the Big 12 was the Big 12, they met the years that Kansas State, Kansas, and Nebraska met. Other years it was Missouri, Colorado, and Iowa State. The offensive player that will replace Colin Klein as quarterback, that will be David Sims. He didn't pass a lot last year. He had 55 total passing yards, 0 touches. 19 was his longest pass, and it came against the Oklahoma State Cowboys in Manhattan. Running back that will have to play well for Sims is John Hubert. Hubert had 189 carries last year, 952 yards on the ground, 15 touchdowns, including a 95-yard run against Missouri State. Wide receivers that are going to have to play well for Kansas State. Tyler Lockett. Lockett had 44 carries for 692 yards in the air, 4 touchdowns, 55 yards was his longest, and it came in the win against Texas in Manhattan. Tremaine Thompson is the other wide receiver. Thompson had 37 catches last season for 526 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 38 was his longest, and it came in the win over Oklahoma State University. The other running back last year, was David Sims. He had 8 carries for 235 yards and 3 touchdowns. 46 was his longest, and it was against Missouri State. Well, this is where Bill Snyder loves to make his well-known place known, is on defense. And, of course, they lose Arthur Brown, but they get to keep players like Randall Evans. Evans last year for the Wildcats had 77 tackles, an interception, 2 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered. And Ty Zimmerman, who had 50 total tackles last season, 5 picks, 0 forced fumbles, and 1 recovered fumble for the Wildcats. Game will be played in Manhattan. Oklahoma looking for revenge because this was the one team in conference that beat them. Of course, Oklahoma did end up losing later to Notre Dame in the regular season. But this is the sole reason why they couldn't be sole Big 12 champs, because of this win in Norman last year. Now they'll go up to Manhattan on November the 23rd, 2013, looking for revenge. Till next time, this has been Harry James Taylor breaking down the Kansas State game. Till next time, Boomer Sooner, everybody. Take care.